Embossing powder is a sure way to get hooked into card making. I can remember the very first time I saw the transformation and thought, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Want to learn more? Stay tuned.
You are what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
Okay, so I wanted to start off today's video talking about heat embossing. Heat embossing requires a few things. First of all, you're going to need a clear sticky ink. I have a couple here. I have some jennycarddesigns watermark ink, and I have Versamark watermark ink. You'll also need a heat tool, and this is not like a blow dryer. It's actually super hot forced air. The heat tool that I use is from Heidi Swap. It's a pretty good one. I've had it for a few years now. And then the next thing you're going to need is something for anti-static. I use the Embossing Buddy, and this is just a little bag with some powder that you would use in order to prevent any static or oils or things on your cardstock so that the embossing powder only sticks to the watermark ink and nowhere else. This is a very important tool to get crisp, clean embossing results. And then finally, you'll need embossing powder. I have a variety of embossing powders ranging from clear to white to sparkle to fine detail to puffy, also some glow in the dark, glittery stuff. I've got all different kinds, and the ones that I use the most are the white and the clear, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in this video. But there are many varieties of embossing powder. The idea behind these powders are to turn images and sentiments into a smooth raised edge. A lot of them say fine detail, and in order to determine the finest detail of an embossing powder, the more powdery the embossing powder looks in the jar, the more finer detail you'll be able to get from your results. Depending on the results that you want to achieve, you'll want to pick a specific type of embossing powder. Like, for example, if you want to stamp a sentiment, you'll want a fine detail. If you want to be able to see through the image, you'll want a clear. So we'll do a little bit of heat embossing throughout this video, and I'm going to be making a project with some jennycarddesigns Snowflake stamps. The stamp set that we're going to use today is called Blizzard by jennycarddesigns, and I'm going to be using the stamps and the dies for this. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out a bunch of white die cuts for 2 of the snowflake images, and I've kept one of these pieces of cardstock that I cut the die from to use as a little template. So I'm going to load this up into my MISTI stamping tool, and then I'm going to fit the snowflake back into the negative space. And then I'm going to grab the large snowflake stamp, and I'm just going to line it up onto that die cut, and I'll pick up my stamp with the door of my MISTI, and I'm just going to double check to make sure that the stamp is lined up. You could also add a little bit of tape in behind the negative space so that the die cut stays in place. So making sure that everything is in the position it's supposed to be in, I'm going to grab some jennycarddesigns Blue Lagoon ink, and I'm going to ink up my stamp very well, and then I'll close the door of the MISTI and press. I'll add some firm, even pressure, and I'll give that ink a chance to transfer onto the paper. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to grab some VersaFine clear sticky ink. So what I'm doing here is stamping over top of the die ink. So what's going to happen is when I heat emboss with some clear embossing powder, I'll be able to see the color of my ink behind it. Using clear embossing powder and Versamark over top of your die inks, you'll be able to create embossing powder in a multitude of colors based on the amount of ink pads that you have. It's just a fun way to create using minimal supplies and getting different results every time. So I've got my die cut on a scratch piece of paper here, and I'm sprinkling jennycarddesigns clear embossing powder over top of my stamped image. And I'll tap off that excess powder, grab my heat gun, and start melting this powder. So you're just going to hold your heat gun over top of the embossing powder, and the longer that you let your heat gun warm up before bringing it to the cardstock, the faster the embossing powder will melt. So the hotter, the better. And then you also don't want to hold it in one place for too long so that you don't burn your embossing powder. So once this is done, I'm happy with this result. I'm going to grab a few little sentiments from that Blizzard stamp set, and these sentiments say, "A gift for you," and I also have a to and a from. And I've got that loaded up onto an acrylic block, and I'm going to grab another white die cut, and I'm just going to test out my stamp to make sure that it's straight and stamping well. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to stamp this with the same Blue Lagoon ink, and I'm going to stamp my little sentiment on the back of this snowflake, and that looks good. And then I'm going to ink up the edges of this snowflake. Embossing powder will resist the ink, so this would work very well if you wanted to use a different color. Your embossing powder will resist that ink, and you'll be able to see the teal color in behind. But I didn't use a different color here, but I just want to ink the edges of the snowflake so it's not so stark white and it fades to white in the center. So I'm inking up the edges of the back of the snowflake too, just using a blending brush to get a nice smooth blend. And I'm happy with those results. I'm going to grab some glue and adhere these two pieces together. Because they're a symmetrical image, I'll be able to flip them back to back and glue them together. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in the top of this, and this is going to become a little gift tag that I can hang on a bag or a present. So I'm also going to add some little jewels to this snowflake to make it sparkle. And then I've got some baker's twine that I created a little loop and a bow. And this is ready to hang on a present. Super cute. And you have a wonderful result with these extra large snowflakes. I like adding the extra die cut to this snowflake. It allows it for more of a thicker, substantial sort of chipboard feel. All right, let's make another using a different type of embossing powder. First, I'm going to take one of these white die cuts, and I've got some jennycarddesigns Blue Raspberry ink, and I'm going to ink up this entire die cut. I'm going to saturate it really well with that blue raspberry ink. Now, you could use colored cardstock here. I had cut out all of these white die cuts and was trying to come up with other ways to use just the white cardstock. So I'm going to take my heat gun and dry this completely. I want to make sure that that ink is good and dry on this die cut so that when I apply my embossing powder, none of it sticks. And in order to check if it's nice and dry, I'm just going to sprinkle some embossing powder over top of the snowflake. And if none of it sticks, that means it's good and dry and it's ready to go. So I'll just funnel this embossing powder back into my little jar. And I'll grab my anti-static powder bag, and I'm going to pat this entire snowflake down to make sure that the embossing powder is only going to stick to the Versamark ink. So any static or any oils or anything like that, that embossing powder is going to help make sure that we get a clean stamped image. I'm going to pop my die cut into my MISTI with that little template, and I'll ink up the snowflake with Versamark watermark ink. I'll close the door of my MISTI and press to make sure I get a good transfer of that ink onto my die cut. And then I'm going to sprinkle some fine detail white embossing powder over top of my snowflake. The result for the white embossing powder is that it's opaque. You can't see through it. So it's going to be really stark white against this blue die cut. So I'm going to make sure that I get good coverage on my stamped image and tap off that excess embossing powder. And then I'm going to bring this real close so that you can see the magic happen. As we hold our heat gun over top of that powder, it starts to melt and it becomes smooth and raised. So I did have a few extra specks. I didn't tap off my powder enough. So you just want to hold the heat over top of the powder until it melts, and then you want to move it away. If you hold the heat over top of the embossing, once it's already transitioned, then you'll risk burning it and it becoming sort of cracked and weird and maybe even turn brown, and your cardstock could start smoking. And also take safety precautions. Use tweezers or something to hold your die cut so that you don't end up burning your fingers. So I've gone ahead and I've added a bunch of pearls to this beautiful die cut. And then I'm going to grab another white die cut and stamp the same greeting, but I'm using that blue raspberry ink. And then I'm going to glue these two pieces together and add a little piece of baker's twine. And there we go. Another gift tag complete. So you get two completely different results using ink and embossing powder. I have another little snowflake tag that I made. It has nothing to do with embossing, but I just really like the color and the glitter paper that I used to create it. So there you have it. Heat embossing basics to create beautiful and gorgeous results. There are many ways to use embossing powder on your projects, and today's video was just a little taste of it. So if you've never done heat embossing before, I encourage you to try it. It is so much fun, and the results are phenomenal. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. You'll find all the products that I've used in today's video linked in the description box down below. Coming up on screen is a video I think you may enjoy. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!